This is kind of a revisit and a discovery. And I'm cheating, but we're talking about The Boys. The Boys is an irreverent take on what happens when superheroes, who are as popular as celebrities, as influential as politicians, and as revered as gods, abuse their powers rather than use them for good. It's the powerless against the super powerful, as the boys embark on a heroic quest to expose the truth about the Seven. Hey, Pistol Danger here, coming at you with a hot take on Garth Ennis's The Boys. But not this version, not exactly. This is both a revisit and a discovery. The Boys on Amazon streaming services. Kicked off July 26, 2019. 8 episodes long. Developed for Prime Video by Eric Kripke, who you might know from such shows as Supernatural. Starring Carl Urban as Billy Butcher, Jack Quaid as Huey Campbell, Anthony Starr as the Homelander, and Erin Moriarty as Starlight. So if we're talking about The Boys on Amazon, we obviously have to compare it to The Boys on paper. And I think what this really shows is that hindsight can really help, because after rereading up to where the show ends, The Boys on comic is nice, if nothing but novel. If you want more on my feelings on how far some writers will take things, check out our Wanted episode on the podcast. A link will be in the description below. But really here, I want to point that The Boys is so much better on Amazon. I'm just going to be completely honest. Who doesn't love Carl Urban in anything he does? I'd watch that man eat cereal, quite frankly, and be entertained. But given the fact that you can go through and read The Boys and get an idea of where this comes from and what it has been turned into, really shines a light on how well something can be focused down to its primordial parts and made better. Because in the book, it focuses on wee Huey mostly, with a little bit of the Butcher here and there. But on the show, this is a multi-main cast. From Homelander getting a larger part, Starlight having a bigger part as well, and even their Namor ripoff, The Deep, has compelling parts to this show. And I gotta say, it's for the better. I'm trying to think of something that they might have done worse. And the best I can nitpick is Frenchie not calling him wee Huey. In the book, all of the boys, minus wee Huey, start off with the power. But in the show, they don't have it. They just discovered all about it. And another great thing about the show versus the book is it really shows Vought for what it is. For what corporate greed is capable of doing. Something not covered in the book, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. They focus more on the superhero aspect. I think one of the best things about the show, Carl Urban aside, because he is the best on the show, is their freedom to kind of take what the boys on paper have done, expand upon it, and then kind of, as my director once told me, throw away what doesn't really fit. And then they replace it with something just as good. Haley Joel Osment's take on a brand new character that's able to give us more backstory is terrific. It's a great way of telling backstory without it being so laborious as some places do. It doesn't feel heavy-handed. It's just a natural part of the story. You know, books like The Boys definitely have a place in comic history, and that's 100% for sure. But when something is done better, I think that there should be an award that we could give to Eric Kripke for being like, you know what? You took something that was good and you made it better. And in that instance, I want to know, what did you think of The Boys? Because I loved it. And that was my revisit of The Boys, the comic, but mostly the Amazon streaming show. Because this, right here, it'll knock you out with just how good it is.
Well, folks, that's our show. We hope you liked it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the My Big Fat Pull List YouTube channel so you don't miss another episode of one of our shows.
And don't forget, we have a podcast. Make sure you head on over and search out My Big Fat Pull List podcast on any one of your podcast listening platforms. And help us keep the lights on by heading on over to www.patreon.com/My Big Fat Pull List. And you'll know that you can get any one of these amazing shirts right there.
Also, hit us up on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.